I've been in this school system my entire life as I am a high school student currently, and frankly, it's absolute garbage. Students are chronically stressed, sleep-deprived, and honestly almost hating life itself. People discuss these problems, even the problems that are about conservative education itself, which is practically heresy in America. But there is one problem that in all my time, Googling and watching YouTube videos, I have seen nowhere, and that is how schools teach students to be people. I know this voice doesn't really match the image I painted in the first sentence. That's because I can't record my voice for various reasons. Chief among them is the fact this channel talks about progressive education, and if anyone heard me recording this video, I probably would be burned at the stake. The way schools teach students to be kind, and yes, I think they should, students spend most of their formative years at school, is by, and I'm not kidding, I remember my teachers doing this, by giving us logical arguments for why being kind is good. Like, when we were in the 4th grade, they gathered us all in a classroom and showed us that Coca-Cola commercial where one person does kindness and it spreads faster than the COVID pandemic, and then the teachers cited it as evidence for why kindness is good. I shouldn't have to explain why this is stupid, it just is. I doubt all schools did this. Nonetheless, schools are not doing enough to sculpt their students into decent human beings, as most of us students are horrible people, or at least have a major flaw created by our days in the classroom that any competent school system just would not have created. For example, I am cynical. I was not cynical before I entered the 6th grade, where teachers strictly follow the creed of, if in doubt, give homework. Most people have a distaste of learning. Others have narcissism related to perceiving themselves as the smartest kid in school. I could go on. I have 3 solutions. The first is to have elementary school kids exposed to media that has messages in order to effectively and discreetly teach students lessons. The movies or books should not be cringe, otherwise students would become cynical. A good example is Puss in Boots 2, with Puss's character arc being about shedding ego and becoming selfless, along with valuing life. A poor example would be Zootopia because it is just pure cringe. My second solution is to create a new core subject. You'd have to get rid of a different subject to do so. I would get rid of tech class because it doesn't even teach us coding anyway. The subject is humanities, and it would start in middle school. It would teach logic and critical thinking, philosophy, religion from a purely neutral point of view, and the basics to social sciences like economics, political philosophy, and psychology. These are things that are not taught in schools and are important to understand. Firstly, let's be real here, math does not teach critical thinking or logic, like you're not going to use the quadratic equation to determine which political party to vote for, or calculus to decide if it's a good idea to get a dog. Secondly, philosophy is useful to go about life. It can help you accomplish your goals, deal with stress, or make decisions. Thirdly, since America is a melting pot, it is important to be socially tolerant, and learning about other cultures is crucial in doing so. And lastly, having a basic understanding of social sciences is useful in order to understand current events and develop interests. My last and likely most important is for schools to actually have a sense of common decency to students, like stop waking up so early when you have literally every reason not to, or stop assigning us so much homework so we can actually have a childhood, or hire teachers who are good and not the bottom of the bucket human beings we have now. Just some food for thought. Anyway, that's all for today. Please like, subscribe, and pay teachers a living wage. Goodbye.